Ugh. I don't know why I thought this was gonna be easy. There's a lot more work that goes into refinishing cabinets than the internet will lead you to believe. But make sure you hit that like button. Oh, coffee is life. So we've been working on this rental unit for the last little bit, and in an attempt to save some money, I thought I would try my hand at repurposing the cabinets. And when I say try my hand, I literally mean try my hand. I've never done this before, so there is a very high chance that I'm gonna frig things up. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but cabinets can be pretty expensive. So my friends at Rust-Oleum Canada hooked me up with one of their cabinet transformation kits, and I've never used this before, so I'm pretty eager to see how foolproof it is. So keep in mind, I'm a carpenter, not a painter. So we're gonna open this up together, we're gonna go through the whole kit in its entirety, and then we're gonna slap some paint on the cabinets. All right, so here is what we're working with. I've got the light tint base color, so I'm actually aiming to get this pure white color. Now, something to note is that it says right here, the bond coat must be tinted at the store. So when you get this at your Home Depot, just make sure that they tint that bond coat. It covers roughly 100 square feet. That looks like it's 100 square feet to me. There's actually a whole bunch of different colors. One thing to make note of is this fine print right here, which basically says that if you're dealing with older or oak cabinets, in my case both, and you're going for a white finish, which we are, it just recommends that you hit it with an oil-based stain blocking primer. So I'll have to pick up some Zinsser stuff and hit that first. All right, let's see what we're working with here. A DVD, rags, bond coat, stir sticks, top coat, deglosser, decorative glaze. That right there is everything that comes in the kit. I really hope that they don't expect this video to replace the information in here, because if they do, they're gonna be thoroughly disappointed. Say to do here, 4 easy steps. Glosser, the bond coat, a decorative glaze if you want a rustic look. Yeah, I'm not doing that. And then protective coat. Okay, wait a minute, what's this? Now, usually when I'm doing a project that I've never done before, I go through a couple of different emotions. There's excitement during the planning phases. I get high on hopes and dreams. And then when it comes time to actually doing something that I've never done before, like repurposing cabinets, I get hit with crippling anxiety. And then that anxiety leads to procrastination, which leads to more anxiety, and then you end up in a revolving door of self-doubt. So today, we're going to avoid all of that, do as the checkmark says, and just do it. Just whatever you do, when you pour the soap into your bucket, make sure the bucket doesn't have a hole in it. Blame that guy. More work than I originally anticipated. So I will see you in the morning.
the following day.
The house that we're working on right now used to be a single dwelling home, and we've recently converted it into a duplex. In the basement, we used IKEA cabinets. Since the upstairs cabinets were in really good shape and they were solid oak, we figured that we would compare the cost of material from the IKEA cabinets to the cost of the transformation kits and the labor that goes into updating the cabinets upstairs and see which one would be more cost effective for a rental unit. Now, if you're interested in finding out what the difference in cost is between installing the IKEA cabinets and then repurposing the cabinets that we already had, let me know in the comments below or reach out to me on Instagram and I will be happy to talk numbers. Here's a quick tip. When you're working with paint inside this seal here, make a couple of holes. You can do this with a nail punch or a flathead screwdriver. In this case, I'm using a dull chisel, and I'm just gonna make a couple of quick holes inside the seal so that when the lid goes back on, this lip right here will seal things up, but these holes will allow the paint to go back into the can instead of over top of the can like they did in this case. So to catch you guys up, since we want our cabinets to look as white as possible, we're gonna skip a step. We're not gonna put the decorative glaze coat on top of our bond coat. We got to jump right to the top coat, thank goodness. We've done 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of the bond coat, and now we have to wait 12 hours for this to cure before we add the top coat, which means I get to nap before we start putting things back together. Just like that, with a little bit of elbow grease and a whole lot of coffee, we've got ourselves updated kitchen cabinets. The original uppers came with under cabinet lighting that looked kind of like a dog's breakfast, so I just went ahead and added that valance there to make things a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Obviously, the backsplash and countertop both need to get installed still, but that's a future Mark problem. For this project, I wanted to document as much of the cabinet transformation process as possible. Whew, that is really hard to get out. That's what she said. Oh God. Okay, let's talk takeaways. The biggest takeaway that I have from this is that the whole finishing process isn't overly complicated. Having everything that you need come in the kit is super convenient. The instructions are right on the box, which definitely makes things very easy. The only thing that I found though was the instructions call for using a 2-inch brush to apply your finish. I found that it pulled the paint a little bit, leaving me with a little bit of an uneven consistency, which I wasn't happy with. So I just switched to a 4-inch foam roller, and that seemed to level things out very consistently. Another thing that you may want to consider if you're going to try this at home is check the dry times, because I skipped the decorative glaze step, which is step number 3, which saved me a couple of hours. Between bond coats, I actually applied 2 coats of primer before applying the bond coat, and the dry time between bond coat coats, that's tough to say, is about 2 to 3 hours on the package. And then when you apply a top coat on top of that, the instructions tell you to wait 12 hours before you apply a top coat to your bond coat. So if you're trying to do this in a weekend, I would personally recommend trying to start as early as you can on the Friday, paint everything, and then split things up. So maybe do the uppers one weekend, wait a little bit, and then do the bottoms the next weekend. Because it can take a long time to do a bunch of different coats, depending on the finish that you're looking for, and having to wait 12 hours is a long time to be out of a kitchen. So just something to think about. But other than that, we spent thousands of dollars installing the kitchen downstairs, and the cost of everything to finish minus labor was about a few $100. So we're talking thousands of dollars in savings doing it this way. And to be honest, I have more faith in these cabinets holding up over the test of time than I do with the cheaper cabinets that we installed downstairs. Only time will tell, obviously, but in future projects when I'm looking to save a couple bucks, this is definitely an option that I would consider for myself or in my own home. And that, my friends, is gonna do it for this week's episode. If you like this video, please do all the things that you're supposed to do when that happens. If you didn't, let me know in the comments below. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. I love you all equally, and I'll see you when I see you.